recently, letting me know what did I think too, of course, of the height, the shooting up, as we often say here in the UK, of Prince George. Doesn't he look now a very tall young man? And obviously still at that age where he wants to get the guidance and, you know, the sort of warmth, everything from his two parents. We saw that as he entered the carol concert, but very much pulling back from his younger siblings, you know, the reality of now, the fact that he feels a little bit older, a little bit more mature. Although, as we saw when he turned up at Wimbledon, do you remember when he said, "I'm too warm, I want to take off my jacket"? And Kate very nicely sort of said, well, no, you know, this was protocol. You couldn't take it off. You had to have a shirt and tie and a jacket. And as she pointed out, it's something that he's going to have to get used to pushing forward, obviously. But what's interesting now is, given this sort of tremendous year that we've all had with the coronation, yes, can you think about it? May the 6th. I know it seems, well, not that long ago, and yet a long time ago too. And one of the pivotal roles that Prince George undertook was obviously a rather crucial one that's now part of history, and one that's part of his history. But according to a very good source, this has now started to emerge. As ever, let me explain. Good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, and as ever, nice to see you. You know, Prince George is one of my favourites, you know, and as I said to you before, it doesn't seem that long ago since I was covering his first day at school at the Battersea School. You kind of think, wow, where's all that time gone? Remember that footage which you can see of him walking to school? It must. I do admire them for that, though, because nobody wants to go to school on the first day, do they? And you know, when you think, well, that's all right, and then when you're told you've got to keep going back time and time again, you think, really? Don't want to do that, you know, but that is the law of the land, isn't it? No different even if you're a royal. But now Prince George, according to a very good source, told me this, basically, you know, that George at the coronation very much became fascinated by his whole history. As you can imagine, it's laid out in a way that we have never seen before. Remember, nobody saw that spectacle, that wonderful sort of rise up of Englishness for 70 years. It's just not what we've seen. And I don't know about you, I was kind of stunned by all what went on behind the scenes. And as I said to you before, you know, we really should thank all of those wonderful armed services, everybody that took part in the parades. It showcased Britain in a wonderful form around the world, I definitely believe. But now, according to that source, Prince George is nothing but keen on the role. Let me tell you, you know, as well as, you know, if you remember, Prince Harry famously stated that actually nobody really wanted to be monarch. Well, it appears that George is very much different and likes everything that could be coming his way, God willing, of course. Now, what's been fascinating is, according to that source, he's been reading up on all of his history, and more importantly, as we saw on the balcony at the Platinum Jubilee, has been fascinated as to how the late and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, navigated her way for 70 years in such a pivotal role. One might suspect, when you think about it, that at that age, and everybody's now talking about what school he may go to, will he be going to Catherine's School, Marlborough, or indeed will he be going to the tried and tested Eton? Well, apparently that's going to be up to him. One thing that's not truly up to him is his personal destiny. And while a lot of people in the past, and you know who they are, have said they were not that keen on what was coming forward for them down the line, seemingly Prince George feels totally differently. And if anything, literally is so happy about not obviously the demise of his parents, would assume, but the fact that yes, it is a role that even at his very young age, he's very much aware of, and more importantly, can't wait to take it on in the fullness of time. Isn't it good to know that you know what you want to do, even at that young age? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.